What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, my friends. Here we are, sitting at about $100,000, $101,000, moving up day by day, loving it. Each day, the bears are in more disbelief. Each day, they're clinging on even tighter to that false hope that, oh, it's a lower high, we're going lower, it's going to happen, right? I'll tell you what. That was never a good hope to cling on to at all. But that was your best chance. If you were clinging on to this being a lower high, if you're clinging on to, you were already in denial, but now it went from funny to sad. If you're still clinging on to it, it went from funny to sad. I was even bearish yesterday. I even thought that we'd go down, and we did. We went down all the way to 97K. I did say I thought we would go down to about like 95 or 96K at the lowest, 96. But I think I did say 97 to 98K. I don't care. Who cares about being right or wrong, right? It's not what's important anyways. It's risk management, and it's making money at the end of the day. You can be right 9 out of 10 times. You can be wrong 9 out of 10 times. If you're right 9 out of 10 times, you could lose money. If you're wrong 9 out of 10 times, you can still make money. I promise you, it's not about being right and wrong, you guys. If you think it's about being right and wrong, connect the dots. That's why you're not making money, probably. That's probably right. I would bet if you really do think it's about being right and wrong, I would also stand to bet if you're a trader, you probably aren't making money, right? It's more than that. But enough of the philosophies. Enough of the philosophies. You're definitely in denial now, right? Right or wrong. It's about. I guess it is about being wrong right now. You're wrong and you're in denial if you're bearish here. Okay, we're at $101,000, day by day moving up. We literally broke this support area, had a classic, it's picture perfect fake out. I think I said this once before, I'm going to say it again. In Webster's dictionary, there's a picture next to the word where they define fake out, and the picture, the example they give, it looks just like this. That's a joke. That's not actually, I mean, maybe it does, but I don't know. I'm just saying that for comical effect, right? But if you look at what we did here, we're at the very ass end right here of this consolidation phase. We had our fake out, right? And what we're doing now, it's very similar to what we did back here. Very similar to what we did back here. And this was back in December of 2023, January of 2024. Hey, it's like the same time frame even. Crazy how that kind of stuff happens. I think it's kind of crazy. I don't know. Coincidental, maybe not. It is very cyclical, right? But here we are. Support. You finally broke through it. Once you had your fake out, look, you just moved up. This time it wasn't immediately that you moved up. I mean, I suppose you did have a bounce there, but it took a couple days, but then you moved up, right? And then afterwards, you consolidated for a little bit, just a little bit. It took you how long from your fake out? From that day of the fake out till you broke out, it was 15 days. I mean, we're looking like we want to break out in less than 15 days, you guys. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we pulled back at some point. I don't think that we're just going to go straight up to new all-time highs without some kind of higher low to come in. But I don't know. Was that it? Like, was that a higher low? Because if we did that here, if we went all the way down here, that would be a nice higher low. But instead of taking all this time, that same low, I'm going to delete this, right? I'll put that line right there at that bottom. I'm going to delete this now. You can see that same low is right there where we went yesterday. Maybe we already did the low, is all I'm saying by that. Maybe we don't have to go lower. Maybe we can just go higher. I want to look at the RSI. I want to stop talking so much. Daily RSI does look like it's on the brink of going to the upside. It depends on what today does. You know, I'm kind of suspicious. I wonder if today closes red. I did call for yesterday to close red, but I didn't know. I thought it would be like a 3-day experience is what I thought. That's what I was calling for specifically. So if that were to be true, today would also be red. And potentially even going lower than yesterday's price could be a possible target, to be completely fair. Which is funny because the whole point of this video, the first part that I made this video, I was like, you're in denial if you're still bearish here, but likely I mean, maybe not likely, but there's a chance that we could go down, and then that denial is going to get fed, that delusion is going to get fed even more down there, but we're going to bounce from there. Likely. We might not even go lower than this low here, but I want to look at it. I want to stop talking. Let's just get into it. So 4-hour time frame. A little bit of bearish divergence, but it's not too bad. I don't mind the volume. I don't mind what you're doing. It's almost like you should have rejected already, and you did. You went all the way down to 97K. You already did it. Low to high. Let me look at a different time frame real quick. I think you go higher. I want to say you go lower, but I think you go higher. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. I think you go higher, man. And yesterday I was calling for anything from, I said 98 to 97K specifically, but 96K seemed to be a target that came up a lot, but I was saying 97 and 98K specifically. And then I was also saying that it would take 3 days, or like we would have 3 days of downside, right? We'd probably start moving up sometime like on Sunday or early next week, but maybe not. Maybe we're not going to have the bearish end of this week that I thought we were. And that makes sense, guys. I think what's going on is there's probably some news that's going to revolve around the inauguration that we're just not aware about yet. But the insiders are aware of it, right? It's the week before. They're aware of it. They know what's going on, right? And that's what's happening, right? This is insider information. It's going to keep moving up, and then once the inauguration happens, which is all the way over here, if we keep going for hours and hours and hours, you know, maybe then we'll be at 140K. No, I don't know. I doubt we keep growing at that pace. But you know, you buy the news and then you sell it, or you buy the hype and then you sell the news once the event actually happens. I bet that we're just pre-buying into that news right now. 1 hour time frame looks good. 4 hour time frame looks good. Daily time frame looks good. I have a hard time being bearish here. I wanted to say that I actually still think that we might even go lower than this low, and 96 to 95K is on the table. I don't, man. I just don't. Unless today closes red. If today closes red, there's no hope, absolutely no hope that we go below that low. It's impossible now. I'm going to say that confidently. It's just not going to happen, okay? But, and wouldn't it be funny if it did? That would be great. But it is possible that we could go down to like 95 to 96K still. And I would say it's only possible if today, in the next 19 hours and 58 minutes, closes red. Okay, so as long as we're closing green, even if we close red, it doesn't mean we have to go lower than this low, but it would at least put that possibility back on the table. If we close green today, in my opinion, there's no doubt that we will not go lower than that low. And we're basically breaking out of this now. Our move starts now. It didn't take 15 days like it did last time. It took an hour because we've just been moving up nonstop ever since. I would be very surprised, though, personally, if Bitcoin... I was about to say I'd be very surprised if it just moved up without correcting. But here's the thing. If it does what it did yesterday all the way up, I don't think it needs to correct. If it does what it did yesterday all the way up, like if we have these red days and we just keep giving it back, or like we start off red, we come all the way down, and then we finish the day either green or somewhat neutral like we did yesterday, if we keep doing that all the way up, we don't need these corrections, right? Because again, I was saying if we moved up here and then we corrected down here, that's pretty normal. But that takes time. Look, we already did that move, but we just did it in a day. Right, so the rules of the fibs are you kind of have to, you hit the 1618, you pull back to the 0.5, and then you move up. Well, we already did that. So now the 786, we hit the 786, maybe in that day we pull all the way down to 100K again, and then we shoot back up. The next day we're at 105K, right? It doesn't have to be these long drawn out time frames. So right now, all that to say, you're at $101,000 right now. I think the next target's going to be around $104,000 to $106,000, and I think we're on our way there now. Likely by the end of the week we'll be there. $104,000 to $106,000. It could be by tomorrow that we're in this range. It could be by today. I would expect by the end of this week that we're in this range. The only way to invalidate that would be if today closes red. If today closes red, any kind of red, if it closes red, even a cent red, 1 cent, I'm serious, 1 cent red would do it for me, to make me think that you're probably going to go, if not back to about 98K, maybe even lower than what this low was. Maybe you do go down to that 96K area, which is fine if you do. It's very normal to go from your golden ratio zone to your 382 and then back up. It's very normal. It just puts this move off instead of 2 or 3 days or today. It'll be next week, right? That's all. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do think Bitcoin's on its way right now, guys. It's very much on its way to these new all-time high prices. And I will finish the video on this note, right, in case anybody's unaware of what my expectations are for the coming month. By the end of this month, we're at $101,000 now. I expect we'll be at about 30% higher at 130K, 132K, I think, specifically. And then and that's by the end of January. By the end of February, I have a theory that we're going to be up at 173K. And it's been something that I've been mentioning, casually mentioning here and there, kind of not like, kind of afraid to mention it at times because I know how crazy it sounds. But I'm kind of less afraid. I'm not kind of. I'm a lot less afraid to say it these days, because it just very much does seem, you guys, like people are not bullish enough. Like, people are underestimating, right? Like, everybody knows the price is going to go back to 80K. So instead, it just goes to 97K. Well, everybody knows Bitcoin's going to go up to 130K. So then instead, it's going to go all the way up to 173. I don't know. And people might not be saying that now, but at the end of the month, whenever we are up at this 130K area, and that's what I'm expecting. Okay. At the end of the month, we're at 130K. There's significant fib levels here, right? At the 1414. From this high to this low here on these fibs, there's the 2272. There's significant fib levels there. We go, out, that is from the cycle high to cycle low. Just still significant fib levels there. So I think there will be people calling for resistance in these areas, and nobody's going to think to call for prices up this high, right? Bitcoin wouldn't just make that jump, except it does, and it has, and it likely will make. I think that it will make this jump by the end of February, but if not 173K, I have a strong suspicion we'll be at least at 141K by the end of February, probably middle of February. I actually think this high, by the way, little foreshadowing on a video that I'm going to put out maybe tomorrow or the coming days. I might actually save it for the end of the month to do the timing. No, I'm probably going to put it out sooner than that. But I want to time this next move. I want to give it like a specific timing, date, time frame. And from the analysis that I've done in my spare time, I've boiled it down to sometime between the 15th and the 20th of February is when I think this next high is going to be in. 15th to 20th. If I'm wrong on that, then it would likely be sometime in March, actually. It might be like the 10th to 15th in March is the other kind of time frame that I got, 10th to 20th. And that's hard to do, right? Time analysis for me is much harder to do than price analysis is, right? I could call for 173K, no problem. We're going to get there. Is it this month, or is it next month, or is it next year? That's the question. But to the best of my abilities from the time analysis I did, and I'm not doing it in this video, so you just got to trust me, but I will do a video where I explain it more in depth. I would expect that it's probably somewhere around the 15th to the 20th of February that we top off. So I'll end it on that note. Not financial advice. None of it's financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball, man. I'm just making predictions. That's all. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want more content like this. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.